the original Moors, started in what is now known as Senegal, West Africa. After leaving Senegal in West Africa, they migrated to Morocco, where they also ruled in Morocco. After ruling in Morocco, they then migrated to Spain. There was easy access from Morocco to Spain by way of the Strait of Gibraltar, which is approximately 9 miles between Morocco and Spain, which gave the Moors easy access into Spain. The Moors ruled in Spain and also southern Europe, as well as other parts of Europe, from 711 to 1492. The reason for the Moors going into rule in Spain was not for purposes of dominating, but for purposes of bringing Europe into an age of enlightenment. From that particular time, before the Moors went into rule in Spain, Spain and also Europe was in the Dark Ages. There were many plagues that were going across Europe. In fact, historians say 1 in 4 Europeans were dying as a result of these plagues. The reason for the plagues was twofold. One, many Europeans existed and lived amongst their animals. And then also poor hygiene. So when the Moors came into Europe to rule in Spain, Portugal, and also southern Europe, they brought science. One that would help out with regard to how to house animals outside so that it would not cause more sickness and plagues. Also proper hygiene and bathing. The Moors brought to Europe science, economics, culture, linguistics, eating habits that would include dietary practices of herbs and also vegetables and fruits. There was also music that was brought to Spain as well. It was very influential in European, Spanish culture, and the culture in the southern part of Europe. There were astronomy that was taught to the Europeans by the Moors, medicine, technology, civilization. Many of the castles also in Europe were introduced by the Moors, the practice of having castles. Now after the Moors were ruling, from that period of time, from 711, as some people say, thank heaven for 711, to 1492, and a result of the Moors ruling, there was the Spanish Inquisition, which resulted in the Moors being run out of Spain. The Spanish Inquisition had an intent of doing away with the practice of Islam and Judaism in Spain. And the focus was to be on Christianity and Catholicism. So as a result, the ruling power in Spain tortured anyone that was practicing Islam or Judaism, and therefore also ran those individuals out that were practicing those two religions, and then therefore replacing those two religions, Islam and Judaism, with Christianity and Catholicism. Now when the Moors were run out of Spain, some of them went back to Morocco or the western part of Africa, and some also went to the Americas, South America and North America. Some historians say that the exile of the Moors from Spain resulted in the beginnings of the transatlantic slave trade, which the Spanish were instrumental in starting the transatlantic slave trade. There are some historians that also say the Moors were complicit, directly or indirectly, in the creation of the transatlantic slave trade. We do know that it was the Europeans that were the ones that started it, and it was caused by the Europeans. But the historians say that the Spanish got information from the Moors that would allow them to spark and start the transatlantic slave trade from the maps about how to navigate the seas and the oceans, and the people who to enslave. That information were coming from the Moors. See, we also have to remember when the Moors went into Spain, they brought science, technology, but also libraries and learning institutions. So there were a lot of documents that were left in Spain even after the Spanish Inquisition. Not all of them were destroyed. So the ones that were left were the information that the Spanish were able to use to be able to start the transatlantic slave trade. Two very interesting pieces of information, in fact 3, that some people make reference to with regard to the plague in Europe that the Moors helped get rid of was, many of us as children remember the song Ring Around the Roses. That's symbolic of the plague that was going on and the death that was happening as a result of that. You can study the children's song Ring Around the Roses to learn more about the historical origins of that. And that's also connected to the Moors being in Europe and helping to get rid of those plagues and those issues due to poor hygiene practices. Then also some people say, some historians say that whenever someone sneezes and we say, God bless you, that originated in Europe is a result of the plague. Another very interesting thing to look at is the cultural symbolic practice ceremony in Spain, the running of the bulls. Some historians say that that's also a reflection of the Moors being run out of Spain, where a large black bull is chased through the city or through certain areas in Spain. Very rich, informative history when you study the Moors, which they originated in Africa. The original Moors were black, and then you also study the Moors ruling in Europe, particularly Spain, Portugal, Sicily, and then also Moorish influence in the Americas.
For more information, please review The Destruction of Black Civilization by Chancellor Williams and Golden Age of the Moor by Ivan van Sertima.